Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. How's it going, everybody? Nice to have you back with me this morning. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. We're going to look at the stock market indexes. Then we're going to take a look at the Magnificent 7 stocks and see if there's anything brewing right now. So first, let's take it slow. Let everybody slowly trickle in because I just made the announcement. It's going to take some time for everybody to see the announcement and participate. So we'll just slowly get ourselves into it. Yeah, Bitcoin is setting up, Karosh. I made a post about it on the forum in the school. I know you're a member, so you can go take a look at that. There's a trade idea for that one. All right. S&P 500. Boy, oh boy. We're just about to hit our target, aren't we? Yeah, we are just about to hit it. Look at that long-term target that we had. We've had that long-term target there since April 2025, give or take, around that, when price was coming down into here. Remember, we made that post. We made a blog post about the market reaching its lows. Yeah. The very day the market reached its lows, we made a post on our blog saying that the market was reaching its lows and that we should start expecting price to make a move to the upside. Our long-term target was this one here at 67.66, and we're just about reaching that spot. A little bit further to go, and then we will hit that. So pretty good. Pretty good in terms of that that forecast. So you know, it would have been nice to see a drop down here. Let me just get my marker. Would have been nice to see a drop down here because we were watching this area for a long signal for the move up here, and as you can see, the move up has definitely took place. Has definitely taken place, but the drop here wasn't didn't play out as I had wanted, which is too bad, but that's how things go. Instead, when price fell short of coming down, we had this situation here on the daily. Okay, and we had supply remove, demand, and supply, and then finally demand was used to propel price higher. So we definitely have some strength at the upside here. On the weekly time frame, we also have something new, okay, right here. We have institutional demand being created. Okay, this is the newest area of institutional demand on the weekly time frame. This will be a good area for going along. Okay, good spot for longs, this area. This was a very good spot, but because we have new demand being created, we don't want to be focusing our attention on that spot anymore because it's done with, okay? It is done with. So now we're going to have new areas of buying here. So I'll make a green circle, and we will have new areas of selling. I haven't specifically located a selling target yet, but I will do that with members when we have our next session, which will be this Friday, level 3 session. If you're a member, come this Friday. I will set up links. I'll put them in the calendar. I'm going to be starting brand new classes for everybody at the school. Level 3, we're going to have this Friday. We're going to talk about some targets. We're going to talk about some really high probability trade ideas. We've had a bunch of them, and they're playing out right now. Tesla is one of them that was just incredible, and we'll look at that a little bit later. So if you're a member, come this Friday to our level 3 session. We'll talk about these targets. All right. So this target's about to be reached. At that point, weekly time frame will be overstretched, and then we'll be expecting some kind of a pullback. Okay, and if it gives us that nice pullback to this area, we'll be looking for a long trade. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. The S&P, no signs of it slowing down. Let's look at the Nasdaq. Look at that monster. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. We are watching for this area to be taken out here on the daily time frame. We had supply here. It got taken out right here. And I'm just curious what happened there. It pierced up with an emotional. Oh yeah, big spike up here before coming right back down. And then let's see what happened after that. Let's see. DDD right here. Yeah, we had a demand zone coming in here that was responsible for removing that area. Because this area got taken out, as you can see. This was an area that I was watching for. But it got taken out by some major trading here. Not institutional trading, but retail trading. And we don't want zones to be removed by retail trading. And we have very specific reasons why we don't want that. All right. So it didn't produce a zone on this time frame. It produced a zone on the lower time frame. We have demand here. We have demand here. Okay. On the daily time frame. And we have demand here. This one's not a bad one. Some trading to the left of it. Not too bad though. So we are going to label this as a potential spot for a long position. Okay. We are also watching this area here for a move to the downside to enter into long positions here. Exit here, didn't get that drop. So now we're going to be looking at potential longs from here and higher. Let's just move that to the side here. Okay, so again, there's no reason to suspect that price will not continue higher. We have big institutional buying coming in here. You know, they just keep on coming in with buying and buying. And take a look, okay? There's new buying coming in here. Right here, okay? New buying coming in here. It has to become valid. It hasn't become valid yet, so we'll be watching that area. So it's being bought up, okay? And the Dow Jones as well. Strong buying coming into the market. Yeah. And our long-term target was hit. Okay. We had a long-term target of 46,511, and it just got hit not too long ago, last week. Dow Jones. So last time we were looking at Dow Jones when it was up here, I was forecasting a move to the downside to this area of demand. Demand got reached. Look at that. And then took off. All right, so bullish across all the stock market indexes, okay, which is bullish for stocks. Let's see, before we continue, some of your questions. Would we look at Bitcoin? Copper is kind of interesting. Silver also reaching a key area, 45. Hi, guys from Italy. Hi, Gio. Nice to have you with us. I'm going to sneeze. Bless me. Hi, members. Can I ask about this strategy if it can be at lower time frame? Yeah. You can use it on any time frame. I wouldn't recommend going to the 1 minute though, but you could take trades safely off the 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour. Okay, the strategy works on those time frames like a charm. The new RSI strategy that we have been testing with our challenges has been working extremely well, and that is like next level trading. Okay, ask anybody who's been doing it and they'll tell you, and ask anybody who's a member who's been seeing the results and they'll tell you that this is next level trading. Okay, completely next level stuff. Been working extremely well. And once you get the concept of what it is that we're doing with institutional buying and selling, you know, we're looking for institutional buying to come into the market. We're waiting for prices to retrace those areas, and then we're watching that momentum shift on the lower time frame using RSI. And then we enter in when the RSI is indicating to us that the momentum is shifting from short-term selling to longer-term buying. Okay, so let's take a look here at Apple. Look at Apple, okay? Look at Apple. Now, if you remember on the daily time frame, we were looking at this area of demand. We wanted price to come down into this area of demand for us to target a move to the upside. Just fell short. We had our alert there. It just fell short, and then it took off. Oh, well. But bullish Apple is what we've been looking at for some time now. Let me see something else here. Yes. We have institutional demand here. Took out monthly. Okay. Okay, so we have new demand here. We have supply being removed here. Lots of supply being removed. So when supply zones are being removed constantly, then you know that buying is taking place by the big institutions, okay? But you have to locate the institutional supply areas to know if the banks are coming in with big buying. Take a look here, okay? So we had, look what I wrote here. Can you guys see what I wrote here? Let me just enlarge it for you in case you can't see that. Long-term lows. Okay, I did this with my members when we were looking at Apple. I said down here, this is our long-term lows. So over the long term, we don't expect price to go lower than this area. And look at what's been happening ever since. Okay, up, 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 and soon all-time highs. Okay. And how do we know that? Because big institutional buying was taking place here. How do we know that? Because we located the buying zone all the way back here. All right, that's how we knew. All right, so now what do we have? We have something that kind of resembles a demand zone, but not really. Something to be watchful of. Would have much preferred a better looking zone. But nonetheless, it's done something that I've been wanting it to do. And now let's see. Okay, so this is a spot I will be paying attention to. Oops. Gonna be watching for a long signal off this area. Now, I want this area to become validated first, and it really hasn't yet. Okay. And then we'll be targeting higher. Where will we be targeting? Should I show you some of my techniques of how I locate upside targets? It'd be nice to show you an upside target on this one so we could later on study it. And you guys could see for yourself the accuracy. All right. Let me just, well, it's kind of difficult because we haven't topped out on price right here. And we would need it to top out by creating a basing candle. Yeah, you'll be able to join in later on. Once the session's over, you could just rewind and watch it from the beginning. Something interesting written by Maggie. Sir, I have 3 years learning strategies. I spent a lot of money learning and it's not profitable strategies. Tell me something. Make me be a member of your strategy because it looks have a lot of info. Okay. Let me touch upon that because I feel for you, all right? So when you are trying a lot of different strategies, look, I don't know what people are doing out there because I don't really follow what other people are doing. Sometimes I go out there in social media just to see what people are doing and what they're saying. And to me, it doesn't make sense how they trade because when you understand how the market actually works, the big institutional buying and selling, then you know what drives market price is big institutional buying and selling. So looking at how price reacts from a Bollinger Band doesn't really logically make any sense why you would do that if you understood that buying and selling takes place by the big institutions and they drive the markets, right? The banks are not looking at Bollinger Bands. They're not taking their buying and selling cues from a Bollinger Band, all right? So there's a lot of trading strategies out there. Most of them are going to be failures. They're not going to work, okay? And the reason being is because they're not based in the reality of how the markets work. You need to buy when the banks are buying. You need to sell when the banks are selling. If you try to do anything else in between that, you'll lose money. Now, if there's a strategy that kind of captures momentum to the downside, that uses Bollinger Bands and moving averages and stuff, then wonderful, okay? But what we're looking for is we're looking to locate whether banks are buying and selling. And if price is coming into a buying zone, we want to buy it. If it's coming into a selling zone, we want to sell it. And then we use different techniques to find our entry signals when these major zones are being contacted. So my advice, if I was starting off, I created the school that I was looking for when I started trading. I didn't want to trade nonsense. I didn't want to trade all these different strategies that weren't based in reality. I wanted to trade a strategy that helped me locate the big buying and selling because it became very clear to me that institutional buying and selling was what drove the markets. It became very clear to me. And so once I understood that very clearly, it was just common sense that I had to trade based on institutional buying and selling. The only thing is that what was out there teaching institutional buying and selling was lacking, in my opinion, a lot of strategy and understanding. So I worked over the last 10 years to develop methods of entering into trades, exiting into trades, finding targets that have been extremely profitable for me and have been extremely successful for me and my members. And that's what we teach. But you also have to understand that you have to commit yourself. If you're going to come to the school, you have to commit yourself. Don't just come and be like, I tried, but it's not working, because it's going to be hard, okay? If you have a couple options. You join the school, you work your butt off, you become successful, okay? It's guaranteed you will be successful, I can guarantee you will be successful if you do what I tell you you should do. Come to class, do your homework, study the charts, work. Okay? It takes work. It's not just going to fall on your lap. Nothing will fall on your lap. There's a lot of strategies out there. Learn it in 3 months, very quick. All you got to do is this. It's very simple. That's not going to work for you, okay? I know because I hear the stories from students all the time, always. I get emails with the same stories, okay? It's not going to work. When you know the reality of the markets, it's like you're lucky if those strategies work sometimes. The vast majority of the times they're not going to work because they're more random than not. All right. So your option is to come and learn and study and work, and you will be successful. I've done all the hard work, okay, and I continue to do the hard work, working on the strategies, fine-tuning it. The new concepts that we're creating here with the RSI is just mind-blowing, okay, totally mind-blowing. They are revolutionizing the trading system that we have been using all these years successfully. So what we were doing was successful, and now we're just adding another element that's going to make us even more successful. It's crazy. So you got to look through our blogs to see the last challenge that we did, and how quickly we grew our accounts. The other option is you come, you start learning, you give yourself a bunch of excuses, and you say that it's hard, and then you leave, and then you're back in no man's land, jumping from strategy to strategy. Bottom line is, if you want trading to work for you, you're going to stick it out. So you could be lost 5 years from now, or you can be profitable 5 years from now. The difference is committing or not committing. It really is that. And if I were you, I'd want to commit to a strategy that's actually going to teach me the truth of trading, the truth about how the market works. And this has become a new popular trending word that you hear a lot of educators say. Oh, I teach you the truth of trading. Horse crap, okay? Horse crap, okay? Come and join us, and I promise you, stick with us for 6 months and watch what we teach you here at the school, and then go to those people that tell you they're teaching you the truth and look at the difference between what we teach you and what they're teaching you, okay? That's all I have to say. Because everybody nowadays wants to say, we teach you the truth. They don't even know what the truth is. How can they teach you the truth if they don't even know the truth? Not only do we know the truth, we show you why we know the truth, okay? We prove it to you over and over. And this is why I post these trade ideas, and I do these videos, and I locate these targets with you, because I want you to take note of what I'm saying and what I'm doing, so that later on you can go back and say, holy shit, this guy spotted the target, and then price reversed from that target. Like, how did this guy know? Well, because if you know the truth of what's happening in the markets, and you have a system to follow, then you can apply it to any market and extract truth from the charts. All right? So hopefully that is insightful to you. Burneth, I want to thank you, Mr. Kevin, for your scholarship I won a few months back. I'm starting to enjoy trading. Your strategy is very unique and powerful. Good man. I'm glad that you're getting something out of it. Actually, Maggie, actually, every word you say is true. I feel it. I will be a member and good trade with what you teach you. No problem. That's good. Glad. Well, listen, I consider myself to be a man of integrity. And there's not a lot of that out in this world of trading education, which is unfortunate because people just want to make a quick buck. And so they think they can make a quick buck by regurgitating nonsense that they learned from other nonsense teachers, and they rewrap it up. They create fancy websites, and they create this marketing material, and they rent vehicles, and they drive around, say, see what I could do. And they're very good at selling you nonsense, and they take that money and they buy their lifestyle with it, and then they shoot videos and show you, see my lifestyle, it's from trading. No, it's not. Anybody that teaches you can learn something quickly is lying to you. Anyone that says that this is easy is lying to you. Okay. The proof is in the fact that they can't do it, okay? You ask any member of our school and you'll know that we post our trades before they happen, okay? Before they happen. I tell you, entries, targets, stop losses, exactly what to watch for. Not after it's happened saying, oh, see, yeah, I got in. And then after it continued moving higher, oh yeah, I moved my target higher because I figured it was going to go. You see a lot of that out there. I don't do that, okay? That's nonsense. That's fake. And so that's the proof. These gurus that pretend to trade and they tell you it's so easy, if it was so easy, they'd be doing it, okay? If it was so easy, instead of them spending all the time that they spend shooting videos, renting cars, taking videos with women, instead of spending all that time doing that, they'd be studying charts, okay? They'd be studying charts and they'd actually be trading. But because they spend most of their time focusing on marketing materials, it's because they're not good traders, okay? Trading is not easy, it's not easy. But if you learn something, but the lessons are not close to reality, not true, then it's going to take you a very, 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 very long time to learn things. You know why? Because you're going to have to learn through a lot of trial and error. Okay, and that's what happens to a lot of traders. They take classes and they learn strategies that are not really in line with reality, but are very helpful to becoming more profitable than losing. But you're going to have to learn the nuances to that, and that strategy has to become more personalized for you and your risk tolerances, and you're going to have a lot of experience trading that strategy to learn what works, what doesn't, and you'll have to end up figuring things out on your own. Meanwhile, what I'm doing here is I'm teaching you how the market works, okay? Once you understand how the market works and you know where the buying and selling is taking place and on what time frame it's taking place, you could trade whatever way you want to, okay? When you know where the buying zone is, trade whatever way you want to. Momentum shift, new demand coming in. There's so many methods, okay? I'm giving you a whole buffet of different ways of entering into a trade. You choose whatever one you like. Whatever one you like. There's going to be one that you like. You just choose whatever one you feel most comfortable with, and that's it. I mean, Apple, perfect example. I told members here was the low of price. Down here. I told members this was the low of price, long-term low. New demand came in here. That's the newest demand zone that came in after long-term lows. You could have just bought there, put your stop loss below, and put your hands in your pocket and walked away until new all-time highs was reached. If that's the type of trader that you are, if you want to, pick an exact entry on a 5-minute time frame or a 15-minute time frame, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. But if you want to just sit back, relax, get into trades, and walk away and allow the chart to play out, you have to find whatever works for you. But the bottom line is, knowing that this was the long-term lows is the key to understanding what was taking place and why it was taking place and why you should even be buying there. Okay? I was pretty confident that this was the long-term lows. Most people had no clue that this was long-term lows. They wouldn't have had a clue. Do you know why? Because they would have zero idea that this was big institutional demand. Okay? They'd have zero idea because they don't know what institutional demand is, first of all. They say they know. Those that are, trading this so-called supply and demand strategy, they say they know what demand is. I look at their charts and I look at where they're drawing supply and demand. I'm telling you, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay? Take my word or not. I'm just trying to save you hassle. But I'm telling you, they don't know what they're talking about because I see what they're doing and it's nonsensical. Okay? Yeah, there's lots of imbalances on the chart. Only some of them are institutional demand zones. Okay? And they have to be drawn a specific way. You draw them the wrong way, it's going to give you the wrong signals. You're going to lose money. Okay? I know because I've been doing it for 10 years. I put in the work. Okay? I'm not driving sports cars and, putting on, this nonsense lifestyle and trying to sell you on a lifestyle. I work. Okay? I come here and I'm doing chart analysis and I'm up until late hours of the night. Not every night, but sometimes. I put in those hours back in the day where I used to be every night, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning going to bed. I don't need to do that anymore because the knowledge that I have is strong enough for me to make money in the markets. But I work. I'm here at my desk working, posting charts, posting analysis, looking at stuff. Okay? All the time. You guys send messages out of nowhere. You haven't heard from me and you're like, oh, he's probably not here. You send a message. I respond. You're like, oh, shoot, you're working? Yeah, I'm working. You guys don't even know. I'm at the computer screen, but I'm working. Okay? Something on my chart, on my screen. So that's what it takes to be a winner. So nobody even knew that there was a buying zone here. I located it. Here is buying, and one last test of the buying. Okay, and now look at price shooting up like a rocket. Okay, but if you don't know about these buying zones, how do you even know where you should be getting in? How can you feel confident getting into a trade? That's all I'm saying. Look at it this way. You're investing in your education. Organize one free month. Invest that month and apply it. Open a long position in your education. Love, friends. Yeah. Educating yourself to the proper ways is the best education. Okay. It's like, I'll give you another example. I don't know how many of you out there are religious, but I'm going to use this as an example. You can have somebody who's a teenager and his parents weren't religious, never brought up their child in any type of faith. But the child has this instinct to want to become, somewhat of a success in life. They want to be healthy. They want to be happy. They want to have friends. They want to be able to provide for themselves, right? They have basic needs that they need to meet. And so the parents weren't much of a good influence in that child. He just watched what the parents did, but he's not very happy with their outcome. So he goes out in the world and he's looking for answers, right? And you got the guys at the tavern. Hey, come on by for a beer, man. Come on by for a beer. Come on, we always go there and have some big laughs, right? We have some good laughs. And he's like, I could use some laughs. I could use the feeling of camaraderie, being social with my community. Goes to the tavern, drinks, starts to become an alcoholic. Yeah, he's having laughs. He's being social. We all have that need to be happy and to be social and communicate with our friends and family in our community. But it's done in the wrong way. And so what ends up happening is his results are negative, right? Ends up becoming a drunk. His liver starts to have problems, right? Start to depend on the alcohols, start to depend on those friendships of people that have made the decision to hang out at the taverns every single day and socialize and drink alcohol. I'm not saying those people are bad. I'm just saying, what's right for someone might not be right for you. And before you know it, you're having bad success in life, right? Or you can have somebody who is looking for a way to live that's more in line with what will really bring them happiness, right? And you have somebody whose parents went to church, read the Bible, and brought their child up in this way of life. And the child ends up reading the Bible and studying philosophy and reading good books and being inspired and knowing what it's truly all about to live and to want to serve your community. And now that person looks for happiness in a different way. That person looks for happiness by giving to others. And he respects his body because he realizes that God gave him this body and he should respect this body, and he doesn't want to be putting alcohol in his body every single day, because when he researches alcohol, he realizes that it's kind of a poison. He doesn't want to poison his body, so he doesn't do that. He wants to make friends with people that have the same ideas and thoughts and beliefs. And before you know it, he's doing good for society, doing good for himself, hanging around good people that inspire him, that make him feel good. And within a short span of time, he's living a good life. He's happy, successful, attracting good people into his world, meets the woman of his dreams, who's looking for a good man with good values, okay, good morals, marries him, have beautiful kids, raise their kids together. That's the difference between going after the slick sales guy that's telling you in 3 months you'll be bringing in a G a day, or following something that is in line with truth. Okay, that's the difference. Okay, so would you want to go to the bars and hang out and see where you show up or end up 5-10 years from now, or go in line with reality and truth and see where you show up 5-10 years from now? Because I'll tell you, if you go in line with reality and truth 5 to 10 years from now, there's no knowing how good you could be, how big you could be, how well you could be doing in your trading, because it all depends on how much effort and time you want to put in. But the time and effort that you're putting in is towards the good, not to your deterioration. That's the point I'm trying to make. Anyways, went way off topic, but I hope you guys enjoy that. All right, so Amazon, let's take a look at Amazon. It's dropping. We had a demand zone down here. Didn't know if it was the best spot to go in long, but we got to move to the upside, and now we're starting to drop. I'm not interested in long here just yet. Google, remember my long forecast? Yeah. So very big moves to the upside. It looks like we have new demand coming in. New institutional demand is coming in on a lot of time frames. So I'll be looking at that for a continued move to the upside. Demand came in, exited here on the weekly time frame. This is an ideal spot for going long. Never dropped, so there was no long signal off of that area. This, not liking it too much. It looks like we are somewhat overextended here. I'd be looking for a drop into the area of demand here on the daily time frame to continue a move to the upside, because it could definitely continue up from here. Meta just took out a massive area of selling. What's the note I put here? This weekly demand zone that removed monthly. Yeah. Came down, fell short of contacting it, and then just jet like a rocket. So what's the point here? The point is this is the latest area of institutional buying that came in. Okay, price came down, fell short of hitting the demand, but still buying taking place there. Okay, as you can see, it hasn't surpassed the previous highs, so it's stalling out right now. For what reason? Who knows? Could be on the monthly time frame we're going to see a bigger push to the downside. Let's see the monthly supply. Oh yeah, the monthly. Oh yeah, take a look here. This here was the demand zone that took out the monthly supply. Look how price came down. So this is big institutional buying taking place here. Okay. How do I know? Because it removed a supply zone of theirs that they created. So they removed it, they dropped price back into it, and they shot it up like a rocket with buying. Okay. So now we wait and see. I wouldn't be buying just yet right now. Now's not a good time after it's made its move. Microsoft, sequence demand a little bit lower, waiting for a move to the downside. I will be posting this as a trade idea for members. Buying here is what I'm looking at. Target, I don't have a target yet. I'll have to do some work on this chart to locate a target, but when I do that, I will share that with members. And Nvidia, remember, I hope you guys remember. I hope you guys remember. Who was the guy that told you, here's the big institutional buying zone, price is going to reverse off of that? Yeah, I'm tooting my horn. I have to. In this business, I have to. I don't normally walk out and toot my horn because it goes against my beliefs. I go out and I'm I stay silent. I don't talk to people about stuff. When people are like, oh, what do you do? I say, oh, I'm involved in the financial markets. They have no idea what I'm really doing and how I'm helping thousands upon thousands of people. They have no clue. And I don't tell them that. I don't get into that. But I have to toot my own horn here because it is what it is. I'm trying to teach you that this is the reality of the markets, but for you to be to see that what I'm teaching is true, I have to tell you. Remember when I said that? Okay, you see how it now moved up? The reason why I have to do that is because you have to see that we were able to forecast a major move in a major stock because we were able to locate the major buying zone. Okay, they bought here, they bought here. They came back twice to the same buying zone. They bought here at around $90. They rallied price up. They came back again, bought again at $90. They rallied price up. They bought again at $90. And now look where it's at, 183. They doubled their money. This is big money. You see how long it takes for them to buy? March 2024, September 2024, and then May 2025. Over a year. Okay? It's very easy to get on board with these big banks if you know what they're doing and if you know what to look for. You don't have to be looking for that 15-minute zone to be trading. You know, if you want to be a longer-term investor, this is the best, in my opinion, best strategy to do that. James, if you want to reach out to us, go to our website, whiteoakfx.com. Bottom right-hand corner, you'll see Contact Us. Click there. It'll open up a little window and type a message on there. And that'll get you to our admin. And they will respond to you. Okay? They check messages every morning, Monday to Friday, first thing in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Okay? So demand on the daily time frame didn't come down to the weekly. We were watching for that one. We were watching for that one for it to come down to the weekly. Didn't make it down there. And now let me see here. Let me do some analysis here for you. Nothing really good. I don't see anything really good. New demand coming in. We'll see how it plays out. See if it moves to the upside. Tesla. I mean, who told you about Tesla? Who told you? Remember when Trump came out? Look back at my messages and you'll see. Go through my feed on Telegram if you don't believe me. I said Trump came out and said, oh, you know, we're going to cut funding to Tesla. And then, you know, all this talk about, ooh, Tesla is not doing well now. Trump's cutting funding. Their stock is going to drop, blah, blah, blah. And this was coming out right as price was entering into an institutional buying zone that we located. And I told you, I said, oh, that's funny. That is funny. They worked so hard to create institutional demand. They worked so hard to drop price into institutional demand. How did they do that? Well, take a look at this, okay? You see how earnings were positive, price went up, right? What do you think happens when price is at the highs and they want to drop price into those institutional demand zones that are lower? What do you think they have to do? They come out with negative earnings, okay? And that causes everybody to exit out of their stock. And then price comes into the demand zone where they want to buy. Trump comes out. It's like perfectly timed. Like you couldn't have timed it any better. Trump comes out. I'm not friends with Elon no more. Negative earnings. Everybody dumps their shares. The big banks come in and buy it because it's a buying zone. And now they shoot price up. The buying zone was in the 200s to 240s. And now we're at 439. Nice. Buy, eh? I like them apples. So you think it's worth knowing where the big institutions are buying and selling, or do you think maybe you should be looking for Bollinger Bands and moving averages? I don't know. It's up to you. You do what you want to do. I would never in a million years trade what I know to trade Bollinger Bands, moving averages, bat patterns, shark patterns, support and resistance. There's nothing I would ever in a million years trade what I know for it. Never, ever. And once you learn this, I guarantee you'll think to yourself, oh my God, what was I doing before? I guarantee you, because those that put the time and effort to learn what we're teaching here, it's exactly what they end up telling me. They send me messages and they're like, I don't even know what I was doing before. Yeah, I did that already. Thanks. Asking questions at the moment as like you. I am a former OTA student. Oh, good. Former OTA student. So at least you understand the power of supply and demand. Hopefully you will take what you've learned and come and join us and take it to the next level. Because when you combine institutional buying and selling with the information that CFTC data and the analysis of the data can give you, and you combine what we're doing now with the RSI, it's a whole new game, man. It takes things to a whole new level. And when you learn the things that we teach you about supply and demand, you're going to realize just how much further we've taken the idea of supply and demand and the concepts. All right. Okay, folks, that was a good session. Long, but good. I hope you got a lot out of it. I'll leave you with that. So make the decision. We're offering a free 1 week, so you can come. If you're like, I just want to know, okay, so join for a week. Go into the CFTC section of our website. Start reading through some of the Aruja reports. See what we write there every week. Start looking through the video lessons on level 1 and see what's there. Start learning. Start seeing for yourself, okay? Don't take my word for it. Never take anybody's word for it unless you trust their word. If you trust my word, take my word for it. And this is why I offer all the free analysis that I do and the free trade ideas that I do, is because I want you guys to see that what we're teaching is legitimate. I want to build trust with you guys. I want you guys to see that you can trust me and that my word is good. And you join based on my word, great. Do the work and you'll see for yourself. If you don't trust my word, great. Join us for a week, look at the video lessons, and look and see for yourself. Either way, if you don't trust, you don't know me, you don't have enough trust in me, I understand. Come follow us on our social media for 6 months. Get a journal, write down what I say. He said this. He said it's going to go here. He put this price target. He said buy here. Write it down. 6 months later, go back and check my work, and then make your decision. Okay? Good stuff. All right, folks. I think I will let you go. This was a good session. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And again, if you want to win a free scholarship at the school, we're offering a scholarship for October. We're going to pick somebody at the end of September. You want to win? We're going to look at our social media posts. We're going to look at who's really supporting us, who's really contributing, who's really liking and sharing our content. And we're going to choose one of you. Okay? So maybe it'll be you. All right, folks. That's it. You take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Come hang out with us in our Telegram channel for more. All right. Take care, everybody. It was fun.